Welcome to the very first episode of Depression, a First-Person Journey. My name is G, and this podcast was created because I reached a point where staying silent felt heavier than speaking. This channel is not here to offer cliches or quick fixes. It exists for the people who are tired of pretending they're okay, for the ones who feel isolated inside their own minds, for anyone who has ever wondered if what they are feeling even makes sense. Here, we talk honestly about what depression really feels like, not from textbooks, but from lived experience. The quiet battles, the overwhelming days, and the moments when hope slowly finds its way back. If you are struggling or if someone you love is, you belong here. There are many reasons why I decided to start this channel, and over time I will share them with you. But what finally pushed me to begin was something quite simple. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing story after story about people who felt so overwhelmed by their inner pain that they believed death was their only escape. I'm tired of hearing about lives lost to an illness that convinces people there is no way forward. And I'm tired of knowing that I have lived this battle myself and not doing anything with what I've learned. This space is not meant to replace professional help. I am not a doctor, therapist, or clinician. Depression and bipolar disorder are medical conditions, and they deserve medical care. If you are struggling and have not reached out for support, or if you tried and gave up, I want you to hear this clearly. Please reach out again. You deserve help. You deserve to feel better than this. I have lived with depression for most of my life. For years, I did not have the words for what was happening inside me. I just knew that everything felt harder than it should. Happiness felt distant, energy felt borrowed, even simple things felt heavy. Only recently was I correctly diagnosed with Bipolar II disorder. That diagnosis did not magically fix me, but it changed everything. Because suddenly, what I was experiencing had a name. And when something has a name, it can be treated, it can be understood, it can be managed. I use the word managed very intentionally because this is not something that disappears. It is something I will live with for the rest of my life. But there is a world of difference between living trapped inside something and living with tools, awareness, and support. Depression does not just make you sad, it changes the way you see everything. It puts blinders on your mind so that you only see what is wrong. It tells you that you are broken, that you are a burden, or that no one could possibly understand what you were feeling. I believed all of those things. I lived with shame. I lived with silence. I failed again and again, not because I was weak, but because I did not know what I was actually fighting. There were moments when I honestly believed the only relief was to disappear. I thought people would be better off without me. That is what this illness does. It lies with terrifying confidence. It makes pain feel permanent and hope feel impossible. What I know now is that those thoughts were symptoms, not truth. My life has meaning. Your life has meaning, even when you cannot see it, even when everything feels dark. Purpose does not disappear just because depression tells you it has. This podcast exists to talk about what that darkness feels like and how people learn to keep walking through it. It is about sharing the reality of living with depression and bipolar disorder from the inside. While each of us has a different story, the emotional weight is often remarkably similar. The exhaustion, the self-doubt, the isolation, the quiet war that happens inside our own minds. I do not have all the answers. I spent years not knowing how to cope at all. But what I do know is this: there is more than just surviving. There is a way to move from going through the motions to actually wanting to be alive again. So, if sharing my story helps even one person feel less alone, if it helps someone realize they are not broken, or if it helps someone decide to keep going, then this channel will have done exactly what it was meant to do. If this episode connected with you, take a moment to acknowledge something important. You showed up today, and that matters. Depression tells powerful lies. It says you are alone, that you do not matter, that nothing will ever change. But honest conversations like this exist to push back against those lies. If you are struggling, help is available and you deserve support. And if you have found one moment here that helped you feel understood, consider subscribing so you do not have to walk this journey alone. New episodes will continue to share real stories, honest conversations, and ways to keep going, even on the hardest days. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, and remember, your story is not over.